What's up, good people? I hope you're doing extremely well. Today, I want to talk about how to stop negotiating with fear. I think this is one of those things that a lot of times people don't even know they're doing. They don't even realize that they are negotiating with fear, and it is causing them to make decisions in their lives that they would not normally make and wouldn't make under the type of pressure that they put themselves under. I think, it's very evident that a lot of the decisions we make in life are all about negotiating, and there's always barriers to entry for a lot of the things that we really want and need in life, and we find ourselves in situations where we have to negotiate those things. And most of the time we are negotiating situations from a position of fear and lack. And it's very hard to get out of that place when you don't know that you're doing it. And you may sometimes cause yourself to not get the things in life that you deserve or want or desire, and just end up with what someone else wants you to have. And this happens so much in just, the basic day-to-day things that we all aspire to as human beings, from our jobs, from our relationships, from just everything. We all have things that we desire to do, and we all have strengths in those things. You may be the strongest person at doing something, but if you're not able to negotiate your worth in that thing, you end up not fulfilling the full scope or the full range of possibilities in that particular thing that you are trying to venture into. One of the main things you have to realize is that it's not always your fault, or it's not always your understanding of who you are or what you've been through that is keeping you from being able to negotiate situations. Sometimes you just don't know how people are seeing you, and you don't know how to present yourself in a frame of value for people to see the real you in those situations. And I think the one thing you have to understand about yourself is that you always have value. You always have value regardless of what you're doing, regardless of how you're conveying what you're doing, regardless of how you speak, how what you look like. You have value. You have value in yourself, and you have to believe in that value. And once you get to a place where you can believe in that value and not allow yourself to really set yourself up for failure, and that's what it boils down to. A lot of times we'll set ourselves up for failure because we are thinking in our minds, what if they see me like this? Or how are they seeing me? Or what if I'm sounding like this or coming across like this in this particular conversation of negotiation? And I think you have to get to the point where you understand that regardless of what you are presenting yourself at that moment, you have value. And at any time you can turn that value on or turn it off. It's all up to you. And regardless of what people are seeing in that moment, if you understand and believe that you do have value, you can negotiate that value with someone, even if you start out in that negotiation from a position of ununderstood lack or a position of disadvantage. And that's really what it comes down to too, is that you may be starting out in a conversation about something and you feel disadvantaged in that situation. So that makes you feel like you can't negotiate what you're really worth because you feel disadvantaged. And you have to really overcome that mindset because you're not disadvantaged. Everyone is on the same playing field. Someone may at this point in their life have, more economic prowess or more money than you, or they may be more educated than you in this particular thing, but we're all human. And once you understand that human element and you understand that this person has to eat, sleep, and put their clothes on the same way you do every day and go out into the world, you understand that they're just a human being. Yes, they may have been able to attach more things to, who they are as a person over time, and they may be in that place in front of you right now, but that does not give them more value than you. It does not make them more worthy than you, and it does not give them the place to devalue your worth. So I think you really have to understand that. And once you get to that place, you can negotiate anything. You can negotiate whatever things you want in your life. And it's very important that we get to that space sooner than later in our lives, because a lot of times there are major things in our lives that we need and want, that are a part of our existence and a part of, the lives that we're building for our families and building for our futures. And if we don't negotiate those things properly, if we can't, show our value and begin to create those things in a way that, helps us to get to where we need to going a little bit faster, you can spend too much time in your life in the wrong places and in the wrong environments, just because you weren't able to negotiate those things or negotiate, the way that you should have been able to negotiate. Prime example, a lot of times just from a job standpoint, most jobs are negotiated. Most job salaries are negotiated. And a lot of people, go in with the mindset of, this is what this job is paying on paper, and I just want to get up to that point, or I want to get close to, what the bare minimum is. And that's, it's a tragedy that we don't go in with the mindset of, no, I'm worth this. And, this is what I'm going to do this for. And I think once you do get to that point where you can feel that worth and negotiate from that standpoint, you can begin to get into better jobs, better homes, better, situations of abundance, and not come from a perspective of lack. So it's really knowing your self-worth, knowing your value and being able to project that value when you feel like projecting it. And, it's not always simple. It's not always that cut and dry. And I'm aware of that. Sometimes people have other situations and have other things that are more pressing and are immediate and prominent in their lives that prevent them from feeling that immediate value and feeling, that confidence that it takes to be able to walk into any situation and negotiate what they're worth. But I think, what I want you to understand right now is that you don't have to be, dressed your best. You don't have to be, sounding, as if you know everything. You don't have to be, you don't have to put yourself in a position where you feel as though you have the worth just by, checking off certain checklists or check boxes. Because I think there's so many times that is what we're doing as people. We're saying, okay, if I have this, this, and this, and this, today, if I'm looking this way, if I, can put on this, 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 and this, then I have value. Or if I'm, can do these things on this list as far as, my abilities and my capability, then I have value. We have to get out of that place or that mindset, because that is a place that is not real value. It's not giving yourself real value. It's just a measurement of value that you can only achieve when you can check those boxes off. So, really getting into the core and doing the work of, hey, I need to give myself value from within, or just project the value that's already there. It's not even giving yourself value. You have value. You're a human being. You already have value. Your place in this world already gives you value, and you don't have to, attach anything to yourself to have that value. And I just want everyone to understand that, and, just feel confident that you can walk into any situation and negotiate what you're worth. And I hope this was helpful to someone, and we'll see you in the next one.